No, I think I have even more animus against the Democratic Party that would trot out a neoliberal disaster, knowing that we needed a Bernie Sanders-like figure who could convince the white working class and then link them to poor people, people of color, women, gays and lesbians, disabled and elderly and others. And so, no, not at all. I think even if Hillary Clinton had won, I would be still deeply concerned about her militarism in the Middle East and Russia and so forth.
Are you at all encouraged by the apparent cordiality between President-elect Trump and President Obama at their meeting today? 90 minutes with nobody else present and both speaking in surprisingly warm tones afterwards.
Well, I mean, we know that the elite, no matter whether they're neoliberal, conservative, and sometimes even neo-fascist, they have a certain common culture. They went to the Ivy Leagues, they hang out at the same golf courses, they sip tea in the same context. So in that situation, both of them are masters at putting on a certain kind of mask in order to connect with each other. But most importantly, I'm very concerned about the Planned Parenthood sites. I'm very concerned about what's going to happen to my Muslim and Mexican brothers and sisters now. And we know that, Obama himself deported over millions of people, so there's a certain continuity even on that issue with both of them.
You've contended in the past quite persuasively that Barack Obama was perhaps too keen to prove himself a president for all people, and that may have actually dissuaded him from taking more profound action specifically in favor of the African-American community. Could that be part of the reason why so many black voters appear to have deserted the Democrats between 2012 and 2016?
No, my argument was that his language was he's for all the people, but his neoliberal administration has not been for poor and working people. That's why you got the resentment. That's why you got the right-wing populist backlash supporting Trump. The recovery during the Obama administration never really filtered down to poor people or working people.
Indeed,
yeah?
But it has been cyclical, some suggest, that whenever there is a big step forward for civil rights, the pendulum inevitably swings back a little. Do you think having a man of colour in the White House for 8 years did create a groundswell of resentment that Donald Trump was able to exacerbate?
Well, I think that's true. I think that's one element of it, but we don't want to accent simply the racial element and downplay the class element. If we had a black man in the White House who focused on working people, no matter what color, and focused on poor people, it would pull the rug from under any possible Donald Trump.
Could he have done that, though, with so little support in the Congress and the Senate?
I'm talking about the motivations and the efforts. If he had tried to do it, then he would have showed white working class men and others that I'm concerned about you, I just can't pull it off. But by not even trying to do it, they had no alternative. Most Americans are desperate, my brother.
Briefly, Dr. West, do you think Brother Bernie could have beaten Donald Trump?
Yeah, I do.
And finally,
very much so.
Finally, do you fear for your country's future at the moment?
I have always feared for the future of America because every democratic experiment is very fragile, and I come from a people who've been enslaved, Jim Crow, hated, lynched, but we never lost our spirit. We never lost our willingness to love, to laugh, to live, and to embrace others. So yes, I have deep fear for the future of this democratic experiment. The American empire is in deep crisis. The aim is, how do you revitalize it? And you revitalize it by remaining true to the truth-telling and the witness bearing for justice that has kept American democracy alive, though oftentimes in very, very difficult times, including bleak moments like today.
Cornel West, many thanks indeed.
Thank you so much, Brother James. Take good care.